Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today I'm in my T-34-3 black, and if you want to pick up a black tank, you need to pick it up by Tuesday. I believe that's the last day that they're going to be for sale. However, before I begin this game, just talk a little bit about black tanks. So Wargaming said they never bring these back. However, their 5-year anniversary, they decided to. And you can get them in the premium tech tree, either buy them or trade in a vehicle for them. And to be honest, in my opinion, buying one of these is pretty ridiculous and not worth the money. However, as a business decision by Wargaming, everybody wanted the black tank, so why not make them expensive to buy? That's just smart, in my opinion. However, they did make all of them where you can trade in a tank, and I traded in my Scourge for this T-34-3 black, and it only costed me like 6,000 gold to get it. So tank that I earned from one of their ops, I got to trade in, and it was actually, I think, worth it. But paying straight up for these, unless you really don't care how much money you spend on the game, you do get extra XP for these tanks. But to me, I wanted to get my hands on at least one of them, and I don't play the Scourge a lot, even though I think it's a good tank. Never really played it, so I decided to trade it in for a black tank. Now, talk about the T-34-3 a little bit. To me, it's like a mini version of the 121. The gun handling is pretty atrocious. The alpha's nice. Mobility is pretty good. I'd say above average. Vision to camo is okay. It's just a good all-arounder, but your reload time and your gun handling is terrible, so you can't be aggressive in it, otherwise you'll pay. So far, I do enjoy it. Alright, so getting into the game, we're on Fisherman's Bay War, standard battle, 2 9s on each team. Each team has 2 tier 7s. They did have 3, but one of them's dead already. And Fisherman's Bay, normally heavies go to the city, and then the rest of the team, like scouts, will run the middle with medium tanks, and then snipers will set up with B2. And depending on how good your team is whether people go down the one line and spot for your tank destroyers. So, as I've been babbling, we've lost city, and like the 3 of us that were running the middle recognized that the city was gone, so we've decided to push down the one line. We have a whole team of tanks in 4 squares right now, which generally is not a winning strategy. And by no means does this video condone that type of activity in your heavy or medium tank. But I wanted to show a video where it's like the most ridiculous, boring win I've ever had. Alright, so we use this little ditch to get up and get these tank destroyers spotted, and once the tank destroyers start to fall back because they're getting hit by our team B2, I'm not going to go over the ridge and pursue them just because they have tanks on the F line in the center of the map, and if I go over that ridge, these tanks right here are just going to destroy me. So I get these 2 lit up, and then I'm going to look back at my turret turn towards the tank destroyers, because if the tank destroyers want to shoot me in the side, they can. I mean, hopefully they pay for it, but instead of shooting me, they choose to shoot my Panther 2 buddy right here. Alright, so now I'm a little torn on which direction I should go. Like, they're definitely going to be coming out of city and driving out through that field, but I want to keep the stuff in the south lit. And now that our medium tank and our scout tank both like pushed to the south pretty aggressively, that just made my decision to try to get this stuff lit up for the team. So as I pop over this hill, Not only do I light some tanks up, but I get this 4502A spotted for the first time in the game. We're 11 minutes in, and that's the first time that heavy tank's been spotted, which is pretty remarkable. Alright, so when you get a team like this, should you just run in there and die? No, you shouldn't. You should try to use them to whatever advantage you can. Now, this thing has no gun depression, so this tank is not, like, this position is not a good position for the T-34-3. However, what I can do is poke the ridge, use my strong turret to keep them spotted and just farm the spotted damage. I can go over and get some shots. However, if I get tracked up there, chances are I'm going to die. So we have a huge advantage, which is, to me, quite hilarious because our team took 4 squares of the map and decided to defend it. I got 20 spotted target hits so far. I haven't even got a penetration yet. And now I'm going to try to use the hills to my advantage here. Finally get my first pen into that T-32. There's a Tiger 2 covering him in the back. And I have to be aware of the stuff on my right. Now I have 2 medium tanks on my right, so I feel like nothing's really... should be able to push on my right side. And I'm full health, so I can start taking a little bit of risk here. So my tank destroyers do a nice job, get the Tiger 2 down to 76 hit points. And I'm really looking for shots into this... or keeping an eye on this T-30 to make sure he doesn't hit me, because he can take like half my health with 1 shot. Now I just look over to see what these guys are doing. Pull up, get a nice shot into the side of that T-30. Now, what the enemy team did wrong, in my opinion, is they drove out across our field on the A, B, C, D line. After you win city, if you really haven't destroyed that many tanks, you need to come up through the middle like these guys are doing. You can get the B2 position lit up for your team, and then you can also essentially push the opposing team back and get tanks down the 1 line to finish up the battle. However, you can see if you drive across the field, you're just a sitting duck in a crossfire. So, I mean, that's why we have beaten them up so badly. So taking long-range shots without aiming your gun in this thing is a shot in the dark. But at this point in the game, I feel like at least giving myself a chance to get some damage. Throwing the shells out there. Now his 45A, I think, has just realized that I'm willing to keep his other teammates spotted for my tank destroyer, so I'm going to be a priority for him. Now, that's a risk for him because I still have tank destroyers behind me that can shoot him if he pulls out. And this turret's really strong, so as long as I hide my hull, it's a pretty tough shot for him if I'm wiggling. These are big top caps to shoot at, but to hit them while you're poking a corner is a pretty difficult feat. So the 45A kind of retreats back into his corner. Load some HE. I don't even really need to hit a weak point on that T-30. I just need to hit him. And I can see the Tiger 2's not looking at me, or... No, he is looking at me. So the Tiger 2 gets a shot in me. I got a HE shell, but he's hiding behind the house. So This 45A is starting to get surrounded, and he does have 700 hit points. And at this point, I'm thinking, like, I could get an ace tanker with my 26 spotted target hits, as long as I can log this kill. So I'm gonna come around the corner, and I don't realize how many dead tanks are there. And I bounce off the dead tank. I think I bounced off the dead tank and bounced off his side. And they shut me down. But really all they have left is the Tiger 2, so we end up winning Campfest 2019. Guys and gals, this is how you win a game by holding 4 squares on a map. I highly recommend not playing this tactic. You're gonna lose a lot of games. But we pulled it off. We had good spotters, and the enemy team was dumb enough to not position themselves to be able to defeat our defensive location. So I pull down 4,000 assisted, get 1,300 damage, only 1 kill. That's enough for a first class. Had I got a couple more kills, maybe a little bit more damage, I probably would have aced it. But I do get 132,000 silver, and that's with premium consumables, so you make good silver in this thing. And up top on the team, you see my charioteer did a lot of work for me. CDC and the Rimtal Borsig, J-Pan 2, these guys did a lot of work up on that hill, so props to them. And unfortunately we didn't have heavies that pushed anywhere, so the T-32 and the Nomad that were hiding up there really didn't do anything. And that's really all I got for you guys. So hope you enjoyed. Kind of a laughable game as far as game strat goes. But that's all I got for you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you.